Hi guys, welcome to everybody watching this video. This video is going to be about introduction to C++ programming and the very first video of this C++. So before we start, please like this video and subscribe to this channel, and let's get right into it. So I've decided to divide this video into two parts. The first part, I'll be explaining some basic concepts that I think you start building your C++ program, and the second part will be building our first Hello World program. So you might be asking yourself, what is C++? Well, C++ is a general purpose language, which means it can be used to build all types of applications. It is very close to the hardware, so it is very easy to manipulate resources. And with C++, we can build things such as web browsers, games, compilers, and operating systems. And another thing, C++ is a compiled language, which means the code that you write must first be translated to a language which the computer understands for your program to execute. So that process is called compiling. So during your compile time process, you encounter errors which are called compile time errors. So these errors are very common to make. After that, C++ is a case-sensitive programming language, which means it distinguishes between lowercase and uppercase letters. So as you can see here on my screen, this declaration of variable and these ones are going to be treated as different from our computer. So the computer goes two variables differently. So just a side note, this is a not operator. It is an operator in C++. So even though it's the same words, the same letters, the computer is still going to treat this differently and translate them differently. So you need to make sure that when you declare your variables, if you're using uppercase, use uppercase for a certain letter, and if you're using lowercase, use lowercase for a certain letter, and they should absolutely be the same, as in everything should be the same. The lettering should be the same. Otherwise you're going to encounter compile time. Another question, why C++ was created? Well, C++ was created in 1979, I think. 1980, with two languages in mind, C and C. Similar at that time was a great language and easy for humans to understand, very understandable by humans. But the only problem, well, not the only, but the problem with Similar was it was very slow to execute your program. So they decided to combine Similar in another language which is very fast, and at the time C was the fast language. Yeah, that's how C++ was created. So C++ is a very understandable language, taking those characteristics from Similar, and also at the same time it is very fast and can carry out large programs. So since it was created from C language, you can say any C language program is also a valid C++ program. So if you've built before a C program, which means you've built a C++ program. As I said before, guys, the code that you write is not directly understood by your computer or your machine, so it needs to be translated into a language which the computer understands, and that language is called object code. Is the code that's understood by your computer. It's usually it's always in binary. Also write pseudo code is explaining what the program does, but in plain English. So another thing, algorithm is like steps on how your computer is going to execute a program. So now that you've understood some basic concepts about C++, let's switch into more practical part. To build and execute your C++ program, you need different types of text editors. While I prefer using IDEs, IDE is an integrated development environment. We will be using Visual Studio. As you can see, guys, on my desktop, I have Visual Studio Community version. I also have code blocks. And Visual Studio Code. So in my next two videos, I'll be showing you guys how to download an Visual Studio Community version and also code blocks. So click that notification, you can be notified when I publish those videos. So let's launch our IDE Visual Studio. So this is like our welcoming page of Visual Studio 2019. You can see on the left part we have recent projects that I've been working on. If it's your first time using Visual Studio, you won't see anything over here. On the right hand side, we have multiple options. We have choice to open a project or solution, which means if you've been working on it, you can open this from your files. And we also have create a new project, which is what you're going to do. And then here we have different templates. For now, we're going to be using console application C++. So you can just type in here console app. And as you can see, we have console app for C++, console app for C#. So we're going to be using console app for C++. And then we're given the option to name our project. Just name this my first project. So after naming your project, you'd want to create, so you're gonna click this create button and it's gonna start creating your project. So since we're using an IDE, there are so many tools that are available. Now I'm going to explain beginner. The first thing you see on your right hand side is your Solution Explorer. And if you can see your Solution Explorer, you can go to View, then Solution Explorer, then you click over here. So our project name is called My First Project, and we also have some default files which you won't be needing for now. So what you actually need here is our source file, which contain our source. Like any other text editor, this one has different colors, as you can see. So these different colors are just there to make your project readable. So imagine if all of this wasn't very difficult to read and understand your project. So each and every command has its own color depending on how it and what. For example, this green part is comment. You can comment out a line by putting 2 backward slashes in front of the sentence. So this is called a single line comment. We also have a multi-line comment, which I'm going to show you guys later on. And then, so comments are usually used to write what a code does, so that if you come back tomorrow and you open your project, if you've forgotten what your code of line does, you have your comment on the side to show you what your line does. For example, we can write what this code of line does. So we can say my project, and they don't know what this line does, so we have a comment on the side to show them what this line does. So I think comments are very effective and very helpful. Basically, the compiler won't try to translate the comment line. So when the compiler is translating and it sees this, it will realize it, okay, so this is a comment, so it won't try and translate. So these are some default comments which you can delete. You won't need them.
And also this one, and also here.
So just to explain a few things that we can see here, we have include iOS stream, which is a library. This iOS stream, it's input output, allows to input and output data from our program. For example, this allows us or enables us to use commands such as cout, console out, and also cin, which is console in. Without this, actually, we'll have to figure out ourselves how to input and output data from our program. So this is very helpful. Over here we have int main and this block of code. Int main is actually our main function, so which means our program is going to execute from this main. So this is our main method. Actually, whatever you put inside these braces, your program is going to output. So in this case, our program is outputting hello world on our console. So for now, it's enough for you guys to know that this is our main method, And later in this course we're going to discuss different functions and what methods do, and different methods, and how we're going to also use a lot of our own methods. Now we have our cout, which is console output. It's going to output whatever we write inside our inverted commas.
Inverted commas. Yeah, inside of our inverted commas.
So whenever you write a string, you would want to put this. So a string is a data type, which is something I'm going to discuss with you guys in my next video. So cout it's console out, it outputs data into our console. And then we also have this redirectional signs, and we also have this STD. This STD is the namespace of a computer. So this is how the computer actually knows what to do. So with this STD, the computer knows that it has to console out this hello world. So without this STD, you won't be able to console out anything. The computer will not know what to do. If you want to run your project, we have this local Windows debugger here. This little green play button, that's what we use to run our project. So let's click on it.
So it's going to start loading and checking for any errors, and then it's going to, then a window is going to pop out, the console window.
So there we have our console and hello world. So and you can also see that we've received some junk text over here. I'll show you guys how to remove that if you don't want to see this, because sometimes it's not pleasant to look at. So let me just quickly show you guys how you can remove this junk text over here. So let's exit this code. To get rid of that junk text, you only have to say system colon. So as you can see guys, all the time when we write our line of code, we have to put in this semicolon. So if you do not put the semicolon, you're going to encounter an error. So this is the command to remove that junk text. So let's try and run our program once again. As you can see, hello world, the junk text is gone. So anytime that you want to remove the junk text, you just put in that command system into inverted commas pause greater than 0, and then our special semicolon. So just to demonstrate errors, so let's say you do not put this semicolon, you can see something different here. We have a red line over here. So this shows that we have an error, a syntax error. Syntax is basically the format. So we have a format error. We're supposed to have a semicolon over here. So when you hover with your mouse through over it, you can see expected a semicolon. So what I like about this IDE is because some of the errors, it specifically tells you what you're missing. So as I hovered over this, it showed me expected a semicolon. So we're just gonna put our semicolon. So if we were to run this program without a semicolon, basically it won't run. So do not forget to put this all the time, because I actually do forget Nami sometimes. So try and remember to put this. So now let's try and put something else in our STD. Cout. So when you say cout, then you write whatever that you want to be consoled out on your console. So as I said before, if you want to put in a string, you put in your semicolons first. So semicolons, and then we've written out STD cout. Please subscribe to Tiny Codes. So this is going to console out in our console because of this command over here, and we put our semicolon. So here we don't need to put a new line comment. Automatically this is going to be a new line. Okay, so let's say we didn't have this one over here, and then we run our project. You see, hello world, please subscribe to Tiny Codes. They're in the same line because we didn't put a new line comment. So let's put we're putting back the new line comment, and let's run our project. So now Tiny Codes, please subscribe to Tiny Codes is on a new line. And we also have another way we can another comment for new line. Say TD. So this is another way to end to put in a new line. So this stands for end line, ENDL. So this stands for end line. So there's another way on commanding a new line, or you can use \n. So either way, whichever you want to. And let's run our program again and see. And we have subscribed to Tiny Codes in a new line. STD can be straining, writing again and again. Let me show you how you can avoid or how you cannot write STD here. Put it over here and say using namespace STD. Then, because as you can see, we have an error because we have STD here and also have STD. And then we put our semicolon, and then we can remove these STDs. So you can also put your STD here on top, or you can put STDs and on your lines. So if you do not want to write STD in each and every line, then you can put your STD here on top. Actually, this STD, when you put it here, it's on a global level, so it applies it on everything. It's on a global level. So if you don't want to write STD on each and every line, you can put it on a global level. So if you run our program, you're going to get the same results. So as you can see, we get the same results even if we referenced STD on a global level. So you don't need to put STD here and reference it. So far we've learned how to console out data. In the next video, we're going to learn how to input data, so how to receive data from the user. We've also learned different types of line comments. We've learned syntax of basic syntax. So in my next video, we're going to data from the user, and we'll also be learning how variables and data types. So click on the notification bell so that you can be notified when I publish that video. For today, guys, in my next video we'll be talking about data types and variables, and also how to receive input from the user. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment in the comment section if you encountered any problems that I did not encounter, or if you have any question, and also share this video to anyone who you think might be interested in learning C++, and I'll see you in my next video.